Hey, Collateral Cinema listeners, Chazzle Dazzle here from the Trial by Air Variety Show podcast. Just taking a few seconds to invite you guys over to what we do. Much like Collateral Cinema, we are a grassroots podcast. We invite bands from all over the world to come in, and we dig deep into their souls and find really cool stories to tell you, and there's tons of music every week, so subscribe to us wherever you subscribe to your podcast. We look forward to having you.
I'm Beau Maddox.
I'm Robert Oregon.
And I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And this is Collateral Cinema. Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters, where we focus on good movies, bad movies, and everything else in between in the world of cinema. We're podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas, and yes, my friends, we are a 420-friendly podcast. So whatever you have, be it dabs, blunts, bongs, joints, or edibles, or anything like that, smoke it if you've got it. And yeah, it is the spooky season. Isn't that right, guys?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, and we finally have Robert back on the show.
Finally.
Jeez.
Robert, goddamn Ortegon.
God damn it, man. Where have you been?
I was frozen in suspended animation.
Oh, you were frozen in carbonite?
Yeah.
All right, he was frozen in carbonite, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happened to him.
Alongside.
Oh, what?
Alongside Austin Powers.
Alongside Austin Powers? Exactly. Well, hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah. Yeah, we are here on Halloween. I believe we're going to release this on Halloween Day, maybe the night before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, whatever time we release this, happy Halloween, everybody. I'm sure that everybody is probably done trick-or-treating. You got the kids back. You're wanting to watch a scary movie. And what better movie than the continuation of the Halloween franchise, Halloween Kills. That's what we are reviewing today. Robert, we were supposed to do this like last year, but COVID kind of screwed that over, right?
Yeah, this was planned ahead in advance last year. It just never happened.
Yeah, man.
They postponed the freaking film date, dude. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just totally lost out. I mean, they could have actually released it on, streaming
Peacock,
services.
just like they did, right?
Just like they ended up doing anyways. I mean, that's how we watched it.
But back then, at that point during the pandemic, nobody had the balls to do that yet, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, that's understandable. But, I mean, now it had a pretty good box office opening, right? I mean...
Yeah.
Like, what, $60 million?
Oh, shit.
And what was the original 2018 movie? What was that box office?
God.
That was...
Overnight success,
That was
too.
at least 50 million, right?
Yeah, that was a lot.
So, I mean, I don't know if this movie actually, jumped forward in profit in regards to the last one, but I'm not going to lie. I have some mixed feelings about this movie. There are a lot of scenes here that I really did like. There's a lot of characters that I thought was great to see again, but here in a little bit, we'll get into some of the issues I might have without spoiling too much. We're going to try to keep this spoiler free.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I liked Halloween 2018 better. I'll go ahead and say that, but I still like this one quite a bit. I see it as a continuation, and if we look at this new Halloween trilogy as a single film, and we consider this like the second act that just kind of drags on a little bit, I'm cool with it.
Halloween 3.
Halloween 3, yeah, Halloween Ends. I think that's what it's going to be called, right?
Yeah.
I guess from the first one till 2018. And Halloween Kills, that would be the Season of the Witch, right? I don't know. But which order are we doing this in?
Obviously the H4O timeline.
H4O. Yeah, H40 be 2018.
Yeah, that would be a 2018.
And Halloween Kills is still the same night. It's even dated the same night.
Yeah,
Halloween Kills is the same night, which is a lot like what Halloween 2 was for the original.
Yeah.
Of course, that's been decanonized in this timeline, but I like how this is sort of a reference to that, because a lot of what happens in this movie are the missing bits from Halloween 2018, where, like what happened the rest of that night. People talked about it, but we never really got to see it. So if anything, the flashback scenes in this are almost their version of Halloween 2.
Yeah. It even goes as far as taking place in a hospital, which is exactly how Halloween 2 actually unfolded.
Yeah, it was hospital scene.
Yeah. And I mean, I like the original Halloween 2. I really do. I really like the hospital setting in the original Halloween 2. And I like a lot of the characters in that movie as well. I mean, and then we see the untimely death of Ben Tramer, of course.
Oh, yeah. We did.
Poor Ben.
But in this timeline, Ben Tramer lives.
Ben Tramer lives, as far as we know.
He's alive somewhere, dude.
He's alive somewhere, yeah.
Ben Tramer lives, and that is going to be monumental in Halloween Ends, okay? That's going to come up.
I totally would love to see Ben Tramer have a role in Halloween Ends. I will say that.
Paul Rudd, hear me out. Paul Rudd is Ben Tramer.
Yeah. Yes. I love it. Paul Rudd is Ben Tramer. That is perfect. That is perfection.
That could happen.
It could totally happen. You're right.
They need to bring back Danielle Harris, too. I mean,
yeah, give Danielle Harris a role. Exactly.
Like a cameo role, but like
it's a family thing, right?
Where we mentioned that a Jody lives in this timeline.
Exactly. I mean, I guess if we can have all the other original Halloween actors in this movie,
Jamie, sorry.
Yeah.
I said Jody. I'm thinking of Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, my Lord.
It's okay.
It's all right, Ash.
Yeah.
We all get things twisted sometimes.
I haven't seen like 4, 5, or 6 really, so
yeah,
but we have 6 right now running in the background.
Yeah, first time
Myers.
It's the first time we see Paul Rudd, and first time we see the Cult of the Thorn, right?
Paul fucking Rudd.
Oh
Wasn't that hinted at the end of 5 though? The Cult of Thorn.
It was.
It was definitely.
I haven't
most
seen
definitely.
it. I know of it.
I got them all, dude. I should bring them over here.
Yeah. We should have a Halloween marathon, probably on Halloween.
We need
that
to.
would actually be fun.
I mean, TV's gonna be playing them, right? The MC channel or something.
But back to Halloween Kills. For me, I had some issues with it. First off, I mean, what really worked in the original 2018 movie, to me, kind of falls flat here. Like, I mean, there wasn't any real standout moments in this movie except maybe the firefighter scene and maybe the end scene where they're beating up on Michael. But other than that, I don't know if that has a standout moment like, say, the neighborhood crawl that Michael undergoes in the first 2018 movie. Where he's walking through the neighborhood. It's almost like one shot. It has that music going, and he's just searching, and he just kills like a number of people in succession, like pretty much nonstop. And that was a really great cinematic moment, and I just don't feel like I saw anything like that in this movie. I mean, we won't really spoil any particular scenes, except maybe what was shown in the trailer.
Yeah. I mean, we want to keep this mostly spoiler-free, but, I mean, we will go out and say that there is one scene in particular where the town gets to beat the fuck out of Michael, and it is great.
It is great. I mean, we won't say where that happens, but, I mean, like we said, I mean, there is the hospital scenes here, which is a lot more chaotic.
The hospital scenes are chaotic. I do like the opening scene, and that's, of course, where we see, how Michael got out of the situation in Halloween 2018, which is nice because, that was the very first thing, I was thinking in my head is, how the fuck does he get out of a burning building that was, trapped in the cellar and shit?
Yeah.
But they actually explain it pretty well, and it makes sense, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It does actually make sense.
It's not a swap out like Resurrection.
Yeah.
Halloween H2O.
Yeah. Robert, what did you think of the actual gore and the actual horror violence in this particular scene, in the firefighter scene?
Man, that was great. He was just doing his part,
Yeah, he was doing his work. He went to work, right?
Yeah, he was doing his part and thanking the firefighters for their service,
Yeah. I'm taking the firefighters. God damn it.
Stupid.
I'm
this
sorry.
motherfucker right here.
I'm sorry.
Michael doesn't give a fuck. He's a machine. He just does. And I love how he's portrayed in the, in these two films, 2018 Halloween and in Halloween Kills. It's a very gritty, realistic portrayal. Of course, we've moved away from the supernatural aspects of the character, but it's being hinted at that he has, it's like it's all within the realm of possibility, but his inhuman endurance is like to the point that it seems supernatural, and they actually lean into that in this film, and I like that aspect. I like the overall motif with the town kind of getting infected by the evil and mob mentality combined with just what Michael Myers has done to this community.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of it works within the context of the movie, but to me, it just seems like kind of a tired storytelling trope a little bit. The whole like, maybe it is we who are the monsters. That whole thing. I mean, that's literally how Cannibal Holocaust ended, It's like, perhaps we are the savages.
I think it's cool, and I came to this expecting that there was going to be a cliffhanger. So, because obviously Halloween Ends is coming out next year. The only time things are filmed back to back like that are when they're part of a single story arc.
Yeah,
like Infinity War and Endgame did.
Yeah, but the next movie is actually going to occur a little bit of time after this movie, right?
It is. They're actually going to be catching up to our present time because this takes place on the same night as Halloween 2018. So it's in 2018. The next film is going to take place 4 years later, so that actually allows it allows them to jump forward to our time, give the starring actors who survives out of this film anyway the chance to kind of develop, and
it's not like they were going to kill off Laurie Strode.
No, of course not, but they might in the next one.
They might. I can see that happening. I can see perhaps some type of death scene. Maybe even in the final battle where she finally takes him out, maybe. That could happen.
I could see that happening because they even kind of foreshadow it in this one. She has a line like, I'll kill him, even if he cuts my head off, he'll go, I'll cut his head off too,
Mm-hmm.
Robert, what if they pull like a little bit of an ass pull and then it's just like, Jamie gets killed ignominiously for no good reason?
Oh, that could happen.
Yeah.
Just like in Resurrection.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. And then I guess the daughter would be by herself.
Yeah, didn't she fall off the roof in Resurrection?
Yeah, he stabbed her and he threw her off.
Yeah. She struggled. She tried to climb back up, but she just slipped and fell.
She set up a snare trap for his ass, right?
Yeah.
And that didn't go well. Just the rope busted.
No, did not go well at all, needless to say. But all of that kind of brings me to the other issue that I had with this movie, and that is, how necessary is this movie? I really feel like Halloween 2018 was a perfect ending for the Laurie Strode timeline. It was a perfect ending for that. I mean, it's technically something that happens 40 years after the original. It would have been perfect to end it there.
Yeah, it would have been, dude. Yeah.
And I mean, I know that they kind of left it kind of ambiguous in the 2018 film, whether or not Michael actually dies. I mean, we at least know that he's trapped in there, and we at least know that I mean, there's a good chance that he could succumb to something.
But there's heavy breathing, and they don't actually show him die. They just show the house burn, and you think there's no possible way he could get out of this. But obviously that tickles the back of your mind like they could. And I think right around the time Halloween 2018 came out, I think they were already letting people know, like, if this movie is successful, we'll do like another one.
And I think that's why they had to leave it kind of open-ended.
They left it open-ended on purpose because they wanted to see, like, if this was successful, then they'll go back. And then they went ahead and announced a while back, actually, that they were going to turn it into a trilogy. And
and the thing is, the ending of Halloween 2018, it has this aura of triumph to it. It's so triumphant. It's these 3 generations of Strodes coming together to attack and address an issue that has caused them trauma for many, many years.
3 generations of Final Girl.
3 generations of Final Girl.
Yeah.
Taking out Michael Myers. And it's an amazing final fight. It really is. It's monumental. It's momentous.
We could have been left with that, and that could have been okay.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah, the back of the truck should have been the ending, right?
I think that it was fine.
Yeah.
But if they manage to pull off a really good end in Halloween Ends, then I'm cool with it.
That is the thing. They are really going to have to nail the ending because the first 2018 movie would have been perfect as an ending in its own.
Yeah.
It would have been. They're going to have to really one-up themselves, but that's what I kind of have hope for.
Yeah.
And then I hope, let's just give the Michael Myers stories a rest, at least for the next 20 years or so. If they want to reboot it whatever.
Let's work on getting Jason back, man. I mean, Jason is ubiquitously absent amongst all of this. I mean, hell, we're getting a new Scream here sooner or later, man.
Jason
why can't we get a new Friday the 13th?
Or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Robert Englund says he has another one left in him.
And I think that there were rumors of a remake or a reboot, but all they'd have to do now is basically take the Halloween or the Leprechaun route and just literally do sequel to the first movie or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what you do.
But then you're erasing the gay nightmare.
We need
That's
that
the
one.
thing.
We need
You kind of need that. That's an important movie in horror history.
I love the Gay Nightmare.
Which one is that one?
Part 2.
Number 2. Part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of an important movie in horror history.
Freddy's Revenge.
Yeah, it really is.
Freddy needs to get his revenge.
Maybe retcon everything after 2. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe bring that character back.
The remake in 2010 was shit. I mean,
Yeah, it
I don't
wasn't
know.
that good.
Wasn't.
No, it's not worth watching. But
No. And what is it? Yeah, Friday the 13th just has gone without a movie since Freddy versus Jason?
No, since the remake of that particular franchise.
Oh, there was a
2009-ish. Jared Pedal
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Pedal
that's
Decada
right.
Decada. Jared Pedal Decada.
But-
Muhammad Jihad.
One thing I would like to see, if they want to take a break from the Michael Myers story, what I would love to see is maybe David Gordon Green could direct a TV series that's just an anthology series, kind of in the spirit of Season of the Witch and what the Halloween franchise was supposed to be after that.
And then you get James Wan to direct a remake of Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
There you go.
Or, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Robert? Do you think David Gordon Green could do a good version of that movie? Because I have heard rumblings that Blumhouse is remaking that movie.
Oh, really?
I have heard rumblings of that.
I would
Yes.
like to see that version because the 1980s version was the shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
seriously.
not many people liked it, but it's its own
I
Halloween
think
universe.
it's a great standalone movie.
Yeah.
It's also a great movie to put on Halloween, just because of the jingle, Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween. Just that alone
Those
is awesome.
cursed Halloween pumpkin masks, dude. That
Oh,
was,
those are awesome. I
Yeah.
think, doesn't Trick or Treat Studios have versions of those masks as well?
They do make molds of that mask.
You know what?
Excellent.
I would just call it Halloween Season of the Witch.
Yeah, not even
it.
do the 3, just Halloween, Season of the Witch. You're
Halloween
right.
Season of the Witch. Perfect name for a reboot or remake of that.
Honestly, I have a feeling that if they would have just done that with the original movie, it probably would have done a little better. If they would have just completely disconnected it from the Michael Myers timeline even further by just taking the 3 out of it, the original movie probably would have been just fine.
Yeah.
It would have done just fine,
Yeah, because the thing is that John Carpenter was done with
Yeah, he was. He
with
was
the
pretty
Michael
much,
Myers. I mean, he helped write Halloween 2, but he didn't direct it.
No, he didn't.
And he still scored 3. I know, at least scored it.
Yeah, man, his scoring is always on point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is always on point. And even in this movie, his score is fucking superb. So, I mean, he always puts a lot of love in his work.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about John Carpenter. It's like there's real love in the scores that he puts out.
Yeah, and even in this movie, because he scored this one and Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
And so, in essence, these films kind of have the John Carpenter seal of approval, so to speak. I mean, he's involved in them. I think he's an executive producer or something, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is, alongside who else? Danny McBride and David Gordon Green. Aren't they producers as well?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Writers and
Writers
directors.
and producers and
Yeah.
directors.
Yeah.
Well, Gordon Green is the director.
And
Yeah.
Danny McBride is the writer.
Yeah. How do y'all feel about the script itself here? McBride and Green's writing. Like, Robert, maybe there were some lines that were kind of wonky.
Yeah, I remember that with the whole feeling the mask thing, dude.
Yeah. And I also kind of feel that maybe the actual beats that the story takes when it comes to the killing, I don't know. It seems like it's just, here's quirky character.
Yeah,
Quirky
dude.
character, here's something weird or funny. quirky character encounters Michael Myers. Then quirky character is killed by Michael Myers brutally, and then Michael just kind of moves on.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good setup for the 2018 film, but I feel like they should have kind of expanded upon that a little bit, you know, maybe even gave us a little more time to develop certain characters.
Yeah, I think it kind of trails off a little bit.
Yeah.
Sort of like a YouTube fan film, really.
It is. It's a total fan film. It still has that feel, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I don't really think that it accentuates the movie either.
Yeah, like there's certain scenes that we wouldn't really need in there at all. It's just filler.
Some characters even. I mean, there is some continuity there. Like, for instance, the doctor and the nurse couple.
Yeah.
And the kooky gay couple.
The kooky gay couple.
I love Big John and Little John.
Big John and Little John are cool. They are cool.
They're adorable as a couple, honestly.
I wish that they would have been developed earlier in the movie.
Yeah,
I really do.
They do come back, and they're the kooky gay couple that bought the Myers home because, of course, they did.
Yeah,
they're Big John and Little John, and they call each other that.
I am guaranteeing that they are fans of true crime podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, which is interesting because the 2018 movie was all the events were pretty much set in motion by true crime podcasters.
That's true, or at least they provided the mask.
Yeah, they were the ones that taunted Michael and made him want to get his mask back.
Yeah.
If they would have just left him alone, I think Michael would have been docile.
Oh, they stirred him up, dude. Yeah.
They stirred his ass up. Yeah. They stirred the fucking pot. Yeah.
It's like bringing the leprechaun out of the tree.
That's right. That's right, Potter and family. Podcasters did it. Podcasters caused this.
Michael!
This motherfucker. But yeah, Ash, what are your opinions on the script?
I mean, I like it. Like I said, I thought the script was stronger in Halloween 2018, but Halloween Kills is still great for me. I actually do like their introduction into kind of these quirky side characters that I know just serve the purpose of being victims later, but there's a little bit of continuity in their appearance for a couple of them. And I think, you know, Halloween 2018 already did that really cool fucking scene where he just kills characters like in like a single shot, and then like the camera pans around and he kills some more characters in like a single shot. That was cool as hell, but they already did that. So, I mean, I think they just kind of wanted to go in a different direction this time and sort of, you know, add a little bit of personality to the victims.
Yeah, and I get that they really wanted to make Haddonfield a character in and of itself.
Right. You got the character of Haddonfield.
Yeah, and in a way, in the first Rob Zombie Halloween, he tried to do that a little bit, just, you know, by the different characters and everything, but he fell flat there, and I kind of feel like this is almost maybe a peg below that. It's almost feeling like a Rob Zombie movie here. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's basically one redneck character cussing up a storm away from being a Rob Zombie movie to me. That's really what especially the scenes in the hospital with all the town folk.
Like Halloween 2.
Yeah, it just kind of feels exactly like that.
The white horse, pretty much white horse thing.
Oh, the white horse. I am sorry. That shit was garbage.
Dude, that was stupid.
It was
I don't
garbage.
know, dude. I don't know what the hell that was.
The first zombie movie was good. The first zombie Halloween movie, there's some good things in there. Danielle Harris was really good in it, I thought.
Sexy, as usual.
Yeah, she was really cool. But I did not like anybody in the second Rob Zombie Halloween movie. And this movie comes dangerously close to that, I feel. Comes dangerously close to just being Rob Zombie. And whether you like his work or not, that will depend on whether you see that as a good thing or a bad thing.
There you go.
I mean, it definitely doesn't have Rob Zombie's writing style, but I mean, if they would have had a bunch more cursing and everything, yeah, it probably would have been pretty close to one.
Oh, dysfunctional redneck families.
Yeah. But how do y'all feel about the portrayal of Michael himself?
I mean, you're still using James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle from the last film. So my suspicion is that, you know, they used the younger actor for the action scenes and for the stunt work, whereas any of the like mask off shots that you see in these two films, or maybe even just like his stalking, is probably Nick Castle.
Probably.
Some of the close-ups would be maybe Nick Castle too, right?
I would imagine so, yeah. Do y'all think that he still feels like the Shape in this one, like he did in 2018? Because I think that is what the 2018 film did rather well, was capturing Michael as the Shape, as the boogeyman, as the guy coming out of the shadows to just strike you down.
In that flashback opening scene, I think that they really capture that.
And honestly, they have I guess we should go ahead and say that there is a Donald Pleasance cameo here.
Yep.
They actually managed to pull it off, I think.
It didn't look bad, though.
It didn't look bad at all.
And he does the rush, and like which we don't normally see Michael Myers rush. We just see him kind of just appear there, but we see what obviously happens usually off screen, and then it cuts to just another scene of him like just suddenly down the stairs. You know, that quick movement where he's already there and he's just creeping, because most of the time he's just creeping. He just walks forward.
That's that shape thing. You know, he's just kind of superfluous. He just kind of moves, you know, like water almost.
You know, why does he drive a car? Because he's just a machine and he's just going to figure out how to do it, but probably not well.
Yeah, probably not well. He probably actually hit a few pedestrians on the way to Haddonfield, I'd imagine.
In the original Halloween film, you know, it said that he drove his way there, but of course in this one we see him drive a car and just crash right away. So my opinion is that he probably got pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
But even if he had broke down, which maybe he did, even if he had broke down, he would have fucking just kept walking until he got there.
Well, remember in the first original 1978 film, he got his jumpsuit from a mechanic. That was like
true.
His first on-screen victim, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually the mechanic.
They did that in Halloween 2018 too. He stole the coveralls from the
mechanic.
The mechanic.
They actually did the same thing.
They had to have the coveralls. You know, that's part of the costume.
Same thing in part 4. There was mechanic, and then Rob Zombies was like some truck driver dude, right?
Yeah, it was a truck driver. Yeah.
What do you think about the mask in this one, Robert? I know you just ordered it, right?
Yeah, I ordered the Halloween Kills mask straight from Trick or Treat Studios.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They just sent me the receipt, so it's on its way.
We're going to do a fan film with that for sure. We've got to do a short film.
Myers versus Tramer.
It needs to be the Ben Tramer fan film.
The Ben Tramer story.
All right, Beau, you're Ben Tramer. Robert, you're the Shape.
Be the shape.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
I'm down for this. Yeah. Myers versus Tramer. Ben Tramer lives. Hell yeah.
Be like Kit versus Evil Kit. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we have to film it on Halloween.
So
That'd be great.
Back to the masks. How do you think this mask stands up to like the other movie masks?
I think it stands up to the original, really, because that one was classic, and this one's pretty much the same mold of Nick Castle's face that Trick or Treat Studios did.
Really?
So that Miramax 2018, 2021 is going to be the same Miramax movie quality.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And the other ones, I don't know. People really don't like the other masks.
Yeah.
Some of them do, but I think they got their own qualities, really.
Like, I'm not really too sure about the mask in this one. In Curse of Michael Myers, it's kind of
It's better than some of the other ones, but yeah.
Like a part 4 mask is
yeah, it's
whatever.
like, what the hell is that? That looked cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, in terms of quality, the Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills mask is probably the best one. But, I mean, you can't really replace the appeal of the original either. I mean, that's kind of just...
Yeah,
that's the natural number one. But if we're looking at production quality, I mean, just production value in these two films is actually tremendously high. Love them or hate them, you know. There's an attention to detail with continuity. They use the exact same mask prop, but they just modify it a little bit to, for the damage that he got in Halloween 2018. I like how they even included, in Halloween 2018, some of the effects from the original Halloween movie.
The bullets, and then the burns, and then the pin mark from part 1, and then...
Yeah, he has all his scars.
Got it all.
That's a new prop. They had to make that, but they molded it to look exactly like how it would look like 40 years later. And that's what it looks like.
I like the aging on it, too, yeah.
So using the same prop in this film just feels natural, but... of course, you've got to have a different mask to market, so they include some additional damage from Halloween 2018, which is natural. It maintains continuity between those two films. So this is essentially it's a different mask, but it's the same prop.
Yeah. I think that it has a lot of character, honestly, and it totally adds to the menacing, look that Michael has throughout this movie.
I mean, the Halloween 2 mask is supposed to be the same mask too, but that one was modified, albeit unintentionally, I heard, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. Halloween 2, an original Halloween 2 mask really is not bad.
It isn't.
I've seen those, right? We were looking at those?
Yeah. The first couple of movies back in the day, their masks, they weren't all that bad.
Yeah.
Does this seem to call back to Halloween 2?
Well, yeah, obviously.
I noticed a few parallels,
Well, obviously because of the hospital.
hospital, and you know, obviously they're not going ahead with the whole Laurie Strode is Michael Myers' brother. I like how they kind of lampoon that actually in the first one.
Yeah, they kind of have a little throwaway line there.
Like, oh, that's just a rumor that people made up, you know. But I think that it's honestly the better for that. I was never a fan of that reveal.
My grandmother was right. The boogeyman was real.
It's over.
We can't hurt anyone ever again.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Somebody in there?
Michael Myers is alive.
Stop! You had a knife in your stomach.
You and Allison should not have to keep running. Evil dies tonight.
I'm not just gonna sit and watch another innocent person die.
If you track Michael's victims, it's a straight line to Michael's childhood home. What do we do?
We fight.
Let's hunt him down.
Michael Myers is flesh and blood. But a man couldn't have survived that fire. The more he kills, the more he transcends.
Run! Go now!
He's the essence of evil. For you, Michael.
Yeah, it always felt kind of forced, maybe a little contrived even.
It definitely didn't have John Carpenter's hands on it.
No, it wasn't done with any type of delicacy or any type of subtlety at all. Now, how do we feel about the actual gore effects and the kills in this movie? Robert, what do you think?
I think he like kind of overdid it a little bit.
You think so?
I don't know. I know he needed to catch up because he was 40 years behind, you know?
Yeah. And the 2018 film, it had some gory moments. I mean, but it was more like, you know, after effects more than anything.
I like the fluorescent light bulb scene.
Yeah, that was actually pretty brutal. I mean,
that's pretty much his way.
Jack-o'-lantern.
That was his way of telling you to switch to LEDs. I'm thinking.
Exactly, man.
And they even continue, you know, this theme that they have going in the opening scene. Halloween 2018 used a very similar opening scene to the original, same font and everything, but they had the pumpkin instead of just a regular jack-o'-lantern. It was a decayed one that was regrowing, so it was essentially like resurrecting and kind of like
it was the reboot,
the time lapse,
the rebirth,
decaying pumpkin.
No. I think that's meant to symbolize the return of Michael Myers and you know the return of the shape, the resurrection of the shape, so to speak.
Yeah.
But in this movie, they start with multiple jack-o'-lanterns in the background, and I think what that's meant to symbolize is that the evil has already infected the community of Haddonfield.
Not only just jack-o'-lanterns, but jack-o'-lanterns that are straight up on fire. They're burning.
Yeah, they're already burning.
Yeah. So, I mean, that hatred and everything that is riled up, I mean, it's pretty much evident in the even in the title sequence.
Yeah.
So
and that's an ongoing theme. And I guess some people might see that as a little bit contrived or a cliche, but I like it. I thought it was a nice touch. I mean, it's definitely a way that they can do not more of the same, but something a little different.
Yeah. I mean, you had to figure that they were going to go a little bigger on the gore and the violence and everything here.
True.
I mean, you kind of have to, especially after how gritty the 2018 film was.
I mean, yeah, he got his fingers blown off in that one, and he still has the scars. I mean,
Yeah,
he has the same wound. It's the same night.
Yeah, he wrapped it up and everything.
He just wrapped it up and he moved on.
I would have cauterized it on the stove and
Yeah,
just
right.
wrapped it up.
What's Michael Myers going to do for 4 years? I mean, it definitely gives him enough time to believably recover from some injuries, so you don't have that suspension of disbelief, but they really do lean heavily into that in this film, that, like, you know, it does suspend disbelief. His ability to revive is almost supernatural, his ability to endure, but ultimately I think it's just because he doesn't feel any pain.
I think that he's just Wolverine.
He has that,
He's
like...
Wolverine, that's what he is.
I think it's like a congenital disorder or something. I saw something about it, but, like,
Yeah.
he just is unable to feel pain, so... You know, what would normally put someone down and force them to go unconscious, he'll just get back up from.
Well, Jesus, how many slugs did he take from a 38? He took all 6 slugs?
All 6 of them, dude. Right
Well,
now.
and in this movie, he takes a few slugs from at least a 9 or a 45.
Yeah.
At the very
A
least.
third film on the same night would just completely break all credibility. So having 4 years to heal and catch up to today's time, I think, actually will make this new one work. I have a lot of hope for it.
He's got a lot of healing to do, right?
Plus, it establishes new traumas for Lori and her granddaughter and her family to kind of undergo.
Exactly.
And to try to work through.
And they can have, like, moved the fuck away and gone somewhere else, but maybe they hear he's in Haddonfield and they go there to end it. They come to him.
Yeah,
I don't know. That would be cool.
I mean, it still feels like the 2018 film was still a better way to end it.
Yeah,
it just feels that. And that's just why I feel a lot of this feels kind of wasted. Like earlier tonight, we watched it again. I actually was just kind of meh the whole time.
Put on 2018, right?
Yeah, put on 2018. That's a much more exciting film.
Yeah, put on that one.
This movie didn't excite me as much. It just didn't.
Yeah, but I got really excited at the scene where the town, you know, has the chance to just fuck him up. I mean, there's a lot of power and an emotion to it. Yeah. It just sucks that it wasn't enough.
I don't know. Is that a spoiler?
Is it? Because I kind of came into this knowing that there was going to be a cliffhanger.
Oh, okay. Right on. I guess we can go ahead and start giving our final thoughts, perhaps, here.
Huh.
And we can go a little in depth here.
Well, we're still going to watch Halloween Ends. We want to see how this goes, right?
Yeah, exactly. We'll go ahead and start with Robert.
All right. So, my final thoughts about this movie, Halloween Kills. I think the mask looks like the shit. I think the kills were only good in the beginning.
Yeah.
When he finally got out of that gun cage, right?
Yeah, that is arguably the best scene of the movie.
Oh, and that was in the trailer, so that's not a spoiler giveaway.
No. Yep. That is totally a spoiler-free moment right there.
Fuck yeah.
For you.
And, you know, I just want to keep watching 2018 and then just keep going back to the original, watching them all over again, right?
2018 is such a watchable movie. It really is. I mean, you can sit down and watch it and you'll have a good time. I don't feel like this is the case with this movie.
Yeah, it's like, I'll watch it a few times and then, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's nearly as fun as the 2018 film was. Because the 2018 film, it had that triumphant ending to it. And this, to me, I don't know. I think that the ending falls flat a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's definitely, I will go ahead and say, I think it's a story that very evidently continues and Halloween Ends.
Yeah, obviously.
So, you know, I think that it's okay the way that it is. I kind of feel about it like I feel about The Last Jedi, in that I was kind of okay with some of the narrative choices as long as the third film was gonna make it better. So if Halloween Ends makes this, you know, better, and I honestly don't have any problems with it anyway. If you see it as one story, it's probably gonna flow a lot better. But we'll find out. I'm kind of hopeful to see what they do with this. I mean, if they really can one up, obviously David Gordon Green and the other writers have the ability to produce a good story. I mean, we saw that with Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
It's like they combine all the trilogies into one, right?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. And now we have this new trilogy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's just a bit much.
I mean, I like it. I think it's good. I'm hopeful for Halloween Ends. Let's kind of make it or break it here.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's good. And I see Halloween Kills as a good film. It's not as good as the 2018 movie. I don't know how well I can compare it with really any of the other Halloween movies because I haven't really seen them.
Yeah, I mean, you do kind of have to...
I mean, I've seen Halloween 2.
Yeah, you do kind of have to get with the original continuity to really understand where this particular continuity stands.
I haven't seen the Rob Zombie films. I haven't seen 3 through 6. I haven't seen the H2O films either.
Yeah, the H2O timeline is kind of interesting a little bit.
20 years later there.
Yeah, you know, maybe. But, I mean, with my final thoughts on the movie, like I said... This is a real mixed bag to me. There's a lot that I like and a lot that I really want to like about this movie. I like the way that Michael is portrayed. He still is the Shape here. He's actually a lot more terrifying in this movie. He's a lot more violent. I mean, there's a lot more, it feels like there's a lot more hatred in this movie coming from Michael, you know, which is the point because it kind of spreads around Haddonfield. And, I mean, that's a good point of the movie. I like the way that it actually calls back to the original movie, especially that Donald Pleasance cameo, which, I mean, we're not going to tell you how it goes, but it's actually done very well.
For the reenactment scene?
Yeah.
Most people know that there's a reenactment scene if they hadn't seen it, though.
Yeah, there is a reenactment, but, I mean, the way that he's utilized is quite interesting.
It's been mentioned a lot. And
it even comes back in later on near the end of the movie.
Yeah, and the character of Hawkins is kind of filled out here, and we get to see his backstory. He was introduced in Halloween 2018 as, you know, veteran cop that was involved in the 1978 incident, but, you know, we didn't actually see him until now. Well, they established that history here. I always felt like in Halloween 2018, there was originally a more skeletal, like the skeletal version of the plot had instead featured Officer Brackett in that role.
Yeah, probably. You know, it actually makes a little more sense.
But he comes back in this one, so I think they intentionally left it open and changed his character to a new officer who would have been there.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a lot more sense. But I do like how they gave this character and fleshed out his backstory, and at the same time, we got the return of Brackett.
Yeah.
You know, using the original actor, and that was kind of really cool to see. Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers are played by their original actors.
Yeah, but I really feel that another point is that Jamie Lee Curtis, I feel, is maybe a little underutilized in this movie.
Yeah, well, right.
She's very underutilized.
Lying in the hospital the whole time.
Yeah, she's lying in the hospital injured most of the time.
I think it's because she's going to take a central role in the next one.
Yeah.
I think he stabbed her for surgery.
Yeah, and I understand that it did allow her daughter and her granddaughter to kind of stand out a little bit, but even then, I kind of feel like those characters got really lost in the milieu of this movie. They got really lost in it all. And, I mean, I think that's maybe kind of an issue with the script a little bit, you know? It just feels like, you know, it doesn't flow all that well. And there's moments where I'm feeling like, this is actually pretty badass, and most of the time that's when Michael is doing his thing. But there's other moments where I'm like, I don't like the characters, and it's like that opening monologue by Tommy Doyle. I mean, it's pretty cool when you first hear it, but it's also so out of left field. I mean, and it feels like it's just exposition. It feels like it's like you're being told what happened at the original movie. And I don't know if that's just because it's trying to speak to like the new fans of this series that may have been picked up from 2018, but I don't know. It feels a little forced.
It served to introduce the other characters.
Yeah, but even so, like, it just feels too incongruous to me.
I mean, Marion is played by her original actor as well, and they bring back, you know, the other survivors of that night.
And that's great.
Sydney and
I'm fine with
Lonnie.
that. But let's call it what it is. It's just fan service. It's nothing more and nothing less. It's fan service. This is just a fan service movie.
It's all fan mail for YouTube.
Even with the Donald Pleasance cameo, it's like, why do that other than for fan service?
Yeah.
And making it gorier and everything. And that's why I feel like it's a lot more empty. Exactly. It's more obviously a fan film than the 2018 movie.
You can literally go out and make your own Halloween film.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean,
we're
talking
like that quality of it, but
it's cool.
Maybe that's just me.
I mean, and maybe it's just me as well, you know? I mean, I still feel like 2018 would have been a perfect place to either stop the timeline and maybe kind of go back to the night of the original and kind of work with that, because those moments in this movie was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I mean, they could have just gone back and made a prequel and, even had a liberal use of Donald Pleasance's likeness and everything. And they could have made an interesting segue into Halloween Ends. They could have picked it up back in the night in 2018, and I think that would have been a better way to end it. Either that or just not even continue the H40 timeline. Maybe go on and just remake Halloween Season of the Witch. Or do something different. I feel like this movie is unnecessary. I just feel that's what I feel like. I want to like it. And the parts that I do like, I think are good. But, it's just I'm very meh about this movie.
The beginning kills. They should have ended that at 2018. I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's like the same faux pas they made with the H2O timeline. They didn't learn. The H2O timeline would have been a perfect way to end it. And if you want a good headcanon ending, it's like 2 Halloween H2O and Halloween H40. Those are the best ways to end each timeline. That's just the way that I feel. And, I mean, there's just so many unnecessary movies in this franchise as it is. And it's just, why add more to it? That's how I kind of feel.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So you're not a bad person if you like this movie. I'm fine with you if you like it. That's awesome. I just personally feel like they'd better really deliver on the next movie, because this movie left me wanting. It left me wanting in a lot of ways. And in the end, they killed off most of the original cast anyway.
Oh, so yeah, what the hell? Shit.
It's like, yeah, and that's why they better bring back Ben Tramer. Ben Tramer needs to be the focal point of the next movie, and that needs to be Paul Rudd.
Yes!
Paul Rudd needs to be Ben Tramer, 100%.
Ben Tramer. I don't know. I really like Tommy Doyle's role in this film. I thought he was a great addition, and his ability to implement strategy, and you really get that there was kind of a feeling of satisfaction for him getting back for that night.
But he also fucks up majorly. We won't get into how he does, but he does fuck up royally in this movie.
He starts the movement, and the situation kind of fucks itself up, and he does try to reverse and course correct. But I mean, I think he as a character does his best, but. Yeah, the whole film they're definitely wanting to lean into the idea that it needs to be her, it needs to be Laurie that kills him.
Yeah.
But I kind of just feel like that's her mentality. That's her trauma speaking, and I don't know where they'll go with it, but
I don't know either. I mean, all we know, it's going to have a little bit of a time lapse. There's going to be 4 years in between the next movie and the end of this movie.
And it's going to apparently touch on COVID.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you could do kind of a cool scene with Michael, wearing just a face mask. And it still covers most of his face so you can't see it. Or maybe like a face mask.
Maybe that's how he was blending in for a little while.
Yeah.
Because of COVID.
What does he do off season? Does he still kill?
I don't know what he does. I think he just chills.
I think he kills for what he needs. He gets his groceries and shit.
Yeah,
and then
it would probably be easy during the pandemic with all the grocery deliveries.
He
could just poach off the delivery guys.
The rest of the time, he just quarantines.
all the Uber Eats.
He quarantines and he just stares out his window, and nobody bothers him because of COVID. They're like, you know what? All right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I guess we can go ahead and give some ratings. Robert, what is your rating for this movie? Out of 5 star.
Out of 5 stars, probably like a 3.5, right?
3.5? Yeah. Why do you think so?
Because it wasn't as good as the 2018, really.
It really wasn't. Yeah, I agree. How about you, Ash?
3.75.
3.75. I think we could accept that.
Yeah, not quite a 4, but close.
Close enough. Now, why do you think that?
Well, Halloween 2018, I think, is a solid 4, and this is just a step below that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I feel about it.
I'm going to give it a 2.5.
2.5?
2.5. It's just met to me. They'd better really deliver on the next movie if they want me to really call this timeline salvageable.
Yeah, I thought 2018 was a full 5-star movie, really.
Yeah, I thought it was at least a 4.5 star
4.5,
movie, if I remember correctly.
Damn.
I don't remember if we rated the last movie, but yeah.
A couple years ago, right?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. I mean, if you, like we said, if you like this movie, that's fine. If you don't like it, that's fine. This is just our opinions on the movie. I mean, I understand it's very polarizing in the horror community right now and on film Twitter and horror Twitter and whatnot, but just, be kind to each other on that. I mean, this isn't a movie that, it's not really a hill to die on either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
No, it's not. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
What we're saying is you don't have to go out of your way to the movies. You can just download it on Peacock.
Yeah, just watch it on Peacock. You don't have to go out of your way. They're going to get their money one way or the other.
And you guys,
I mean, they got $60 million opening.
They're good.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Everybody just have a safe Halloween. Whether you decide to go to the movies, whether you decide to watch at home.
Do your trunk or treating, maybe. Do
if
something
you want
like
to
that.
do trunk or treat, or I know in our neighborhood we kind of did like a hayride thing, which is what we normally do.
Yeah.
But we didn't last year. So, just, make good decisions, responsible decisions, and be safe.
Yeah, definitely. Be safe. Be kind to each other. And, watch for the boogeyman.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's going on with Collateral Gaming, Ash?
All right. Well, we will be releasing our Halloween special on Outlast. That's going to be out by Halloween Day as well. So look forward to that. We're also going to be doing a Halloween-themed bonus round of some kind. So, and if you didn't check out our season premiere on Metroid Dread, or at least part 1 of it, go ahead and check that out.
Excellent. Yeah. I can't wait for the Outlast episode because I think that I'm going to be on that one, right?
Yeah. I want you on, bro.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I might have some things to say about that because I'm a seasoned horror gamer.
And you might be doing the bonus round with me as well, I think.
Yeah. That's going to be what?
We are going to be doing top 5 horror games plus a review of Silent Hill 3.
Silent Hill 3, yeah. We were watching a retrospective of that last night, right?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, it was actually kind of interesting.
It was pretty interesting. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish up Silent Hill 2, and then I'm gonna play Silent Hill 3 all the way through. And
Right on.
we'll talk about that. Outlast is gonna be a fun episode. Anything to talk about in terms of filmmaking progress, Mr. Ortegon?
Oh, not yet. I need to take some time off and get all that stuff together, really.
Yeah, but recently you had Killing Night air on the Horrific Hope live stream, right?
Yeah, I did. I didn't get to see it, though. I wish I did.
But
we watched it.
Thank you. Hell yeah, somebody watched it.
It was good, man. It was actually a lot better than I remember it when we were filming it,
Digitally remastered.
Yeah, I mean, even the natural lighting kind of contributed to the actual atmosphere. I mean, I wish we could have done a little better on the sound mixing. I mean, I kind of feel like we could have added some more, little stingers of music or some noise.
I have an idea.
Maybe a stabbing sound for the fucking clicky knife.
Yeah.
I have an idea, guys. Let's do that. Let's open up Killing Night, and then let's kind of fix it up a little bit, make it sound a little better, and let's stream it on Halloween.
Yeah.
Maybe we could.
You could.
Maybe we could stream a better version of it on Halloween. That could be cool.
Yeah, I was experimenting with filters, too, and just trying to clean it up.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
And, it seems pretty easy.
We need to add some more Foley to it, maybe. Cancel out the clicking of the...
Yeah, we can always go back and redo all that.
Yeah, we could. So, maybe look for that down the pipeline, and also look for Texas Sundown, which is currently in production.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get that together here very soon.
We're going to have to, because I don't want to sit on it.
I mean, honestly, that's why we went kind of bi-weekly with our schedule again, so we can have the time to kind of put into that.
I have 34 hours of PTO I need to use, so I'll probably cash in all that.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can start doing something.
And what's next? The kid with the WRX?
Yeah, as soon as I get that car together.
Hell yeah, man.
Or maybe one of the Halloween fan films, we can just jump right into that.
Well, it's probably not going to be out tonight. I might have it out tomorrow, but we will have by this time it will already been out. We're going to have our episode on Scream that we did with SWO Productions, Mr. Stu, of the Stu World Order.
And we also have a director's cut on Scary Movie.
Yeah, that's going to be in the works. That's going to be released, I think, maybe either a day or two before Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, it's already recorded. We just have to edit it.
Might not even edit it, honestly.
It's a director's cut episode.
We might not even do that. And we did an episode with Stu on the SWO podcast about Blade. So look for that coming out very shortly, hopefully. And also, I think that maybe our stream is still up on Twitch, maybe for the Horrific Hope live stream.
Yeah, I think if you check out Victims and Villains Twitch account, they do have saved recordings of, I think, both of our spots.
Yeah, we've done like 3 of them now, I think.
Yeah, and
so,
if you want to check out Killing Night, just check out Robert's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That too, or IGTV, which is easier.
A rough cut of Killing Night, mind you. I mean,
it is a rough cut, but
we just wanted to get it out.
I'm actually pretty proud to have my name on it.
Me too. Yeah. I'm proud to have my name on it.
We were sitting on it too long. I'm like, dude, let's just put it out. Who cares? I'll throw it out for free. We're not going to charge anything.
Yeah, it still looks good. But anyway, yeah, that's what's coming up with Collateral Cinema, and you can find Collateral Cinema and Collateral Gaming on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Our social media is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Look for us on Patreon. We have $1 and $5 tiers, and we have full-length film commentaries there. You can play a movie, and you can listen to our stupid asses fucking talking about movies. Yeah, we have everything from Freddy Got Fingered to House of the Dead to The Room even. So check us out there. And also, hell, we're even on Tumblr and WordPress. You can find us there. And also look for us on Good Pods. Yeah, maybe if we get enough listeners and we get enough followers, maybe we can start climbing up on the indie podcast ranking there. That would be really cool. So, yeah, check us out there. Share that particular episode everywhere you can. And, yeah, look for new Collateral Cinema coming up. We're going to be doing the Star Wars prequels with the Spy Hards podcast. First episode, we're talking about the first 2 movies. And the second episode, we're going to be talking about the third movie and its related media, namely the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah, we're going to probably touch on the Clone Wars a little bit and other related media, just so that we can kind of split that up in a way that makes sense. And then there's a lot to talk about that's in association with Revenge of the Sith, which I think deserves a little bit more time than episodes 1 or 2 individually.
Yeah, because it's arguably the best movie out of that particular trilogy.
Yeah, so I think that split up kind of works. But yeah, I'm excited to do that. That was my suggestion on the podcast. And then I guess in December we'll have our Christmas special. And
yeah, that's going to be Last Ounce of Courage with Captain Nostalgia from Victims and Villains. And that's going to be a lot of fun. It's a War on Christmas movie, people. So yeah, I'm expecting some responses to this. This is probably going to be our first true troll episode.
I don't know. Maybe. We did the Buttercream Gang.
Yeah, that was very much a troll episode.
That was.
Yeah, because it is still one of the greatest movies ever made. Don't add us.
That's right. The Buttercream Gang.
The Buttercream Gang. Buttercreaming for God, Trump, and MAGA and carrots.
Yes, and white bread and mayonnaise.
Yep. The white bread, the mayo, and the Oscar Mayer bologna. That is the holy trinity of the Buttercream Gang.
Wonder Bread,
and leaving Mrs. Jenkins to her own demise. Yeah, leaving her to her own demise.
Fuck the Widow Jenkins.
Fuck the Widow Jenkins.
Should be falling down anyway.
Yeah, I think that we're going to be doing a free commentary for the Buttercream Gang 2, right? Here pretty soon.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun, right? On the director's cut?
It's like a Muppet Treasure Island cover.
Yeah, I know. It's a hilarious cover on that movie. I really think it's hilarious.
No, I think we should do a Patreon commentary on the Buttercream Gang and then a free commentary on the Buttercream Gang 2.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we need to do some new commentaries anyway.
Actually, It looks like a part 2 of Goonies cover, right?
Almost. It does. It looks like the Goonies. It looks like a terrible version of the Goonies cover. It's really something else. And it's a movie that's something else. It has a lot of silly 90s conventions. It's a sillier movie than the first one. And unfortunately, it doesn't have Paul in it. So
we need to watch that, dude.
Yeah, we do. We do need to watch it. It's on YouTube, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Watch it.
But anyway, I guess that we're just going to go ahead and get the hell out of here. Happy Halloween, everybody. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Get your vaccines. And
smoke a shit ton of weed.
Smoke a shit ton of weed and eat as much candy as you can if that is your thing.
In fact, check your Halloween weed. Make sure there's no candy in there.
Yeah, make sure there's no candy in the Halloween weed. We don't want that, right? Yeah. But with all of that said, I am Beau Maddox.
I'm Robert Oregon.
And I'm Ashley, the Shape Chancellor.
And this was Collateral Cinema, the Halloween Special. Check out Halloween Kills if you want. If not, whatever. Laters. Collateral Cinema is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and movie clips are owned by their respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.